Got to adjust the camera a little bit, but yes, we are live. Welcome on in to the Start or Sit show for fantasy football discussion, for fantasy intervention. What's going on, guys? I'm Chase. I'm here joined by Jordan. Welcome on in, Jordan. How you doing today?
Fantastic. It's another football Sunday, Chase.
Yes, it is, and I'm excited for it, man. Week two
Hell yeah.
is juicy, dude. Like week two is sexy. We have multiple different matchups that is poised to go over 50 points. I believe there's a total of like 5 on the main slate. So it's very exciting for everybody, especially those people in the 4 o'clock game slots. You know, just because you're down going to the 4 o'clock games does not mean that you're going to be out, because these games are going to explode at 4 o'clock. But we're not here to talk about the spreads. We are here to answer your start or sit questions. Before we dive into it, Jordan, is there any game that you're looking forward to? Any game that you're looking to play heavy guys in?
Well, the one I'm looking forward to is from as far as watching, maybe not leaning too heavy into on the fantasy side, but Bills Dolphins. I want to see what we get out of the AFC East from both of those teams. I think Buffalo let one slip away last week, and I want to see what Miami really means now, kind of against a good team like Buffalo. So I'm not. Yeah. I don't know if I'm leaning too heavy fantasy-wise on that. I mean, we play our obvious guys. I think we got to go, obviously, Allen. We go Diggs. On the Dolphins side, I think I'm going Gaskin for sure. And then that's really it. I think that's your kind of normal guys there. But
no Devin Singletary or Zach Moss this week?
I'm not touching Buffalo running game. Nope. No way. Not until they figure it out.
It's something as to where like Buffalo has obviously, struggled to move the ball last week. Hopefully this week up against Miami, man, they have some dynamic corners. So we're going to have to figure out different ways to get the other players involved, which I'm stoked for it. I'm ready to watch, ready to get into it. Absolutely. We do have some starter sit questions coming in. We will be answering those here shortly. I'm trying to figure out where the hell this thing is going live on Facebook, because I can't find it. If you guys know, share it into the fantasy football group or fantasy football discussion group, and let's get this show off the ground and rolling. Aside from that, is there any game that you're targeting heavy? Like we had the Dallas game, we have the Chargers game. Is that game that you're targeting pretty heavy? Do you think it's going to go off? Is there anybody that you're fading? Because I think it's an interesting matchup up against Mike Davis with Amari Cooper.
I think that's a fantastic game. I think you play everybody. I am wondering where it's going to come from. I could see this as a good game for starting both Cowboys running backs, for example. I could see Tony Pollard and Zeke both being serviceable there. So I'd probably load up on the backfield there with both guys. If you got them, start them, basically, Cowboys or Chargers, on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be a high scoring game for sure.
So I'm actually going to be fading. Believe it or not, I'm going to be fading Amari Cooper a little bit. It depends on the match. Okay. I'm still going to play Amari Cooper because he saw 15, 16 targets last week.
Yep.
Still going to be playing him, but Mike Williams over there on the other side up against Diggs. Diggs has done a really, really great job at shutting down these big physical wide receivers who like the jump ball. Guys like Mike Evans last week, which we saw. Chase Claypool actually struggled up against him last year, along with DeAndre Hopkins. So Mike Williams might see a tougher matchup. Meanwhile, Jordan Lewis in the slot up against Keenan Allen, that should be a bloodbath. Like, I'm sitting there looking at Keenan Allen as my favorite DFS play of the week. So I'm very, very excited for the Keenan Allen matchup. Meanwhile, Anthony Brown gets burnt constantly deep over and over and over again. Meanwhile, Jalen Guyton is that deep ball guy. So Jalen Guyton makes for a very interesting flex play. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these questions. We've got Curry Blanchard. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name up here. And he's asking Julio Jones or Deontay Johnson. So I'm going to set this out real quick, because Tannehill actually struggled last week, and now they're going into Seattle, and Seattle's been storming. They've had winds over 50 miles an hour. The weather there has been absolutely brutal. I was posting all over Twitter about how this weather was scaring me away from this matchup tremendously. Now, the weather has eased up a little bit, but we're still talking about soggy fields. We're still talking about wind gusts constantly. And although Julio Jones, he's not like the deep target type guy, this wind could still affect this game. Now, Seattle's great at stopping the run up front. They're terrible at containing the running back in the passing game. When it comes to actually rushing the ball, they're actually pretty stout up front, even after losing Jared Reed to free agency. So I think that the Tennessee Titans will have to pass a little bit, but I don't know that Julio Jones will see the volume necessary to beat out Deontay Johnson with this matchup. I mean, we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, who the secondary is met at best. And I'm not even a Deontay Johnson person. I don't like Deontay Johnson. I don't like his hands. But I think that you have to go Deontay Johnson over Julio Jones.
100% for all of those reasons. We haven't figured out what Julio's role in the offense is going to be. I see that as a Derrick Henry game for Tennessee. And the other thing that we, in the background playing there is I think this is going to be an A.J. Brown game because A.J. Brown is going up against his former college teammate and maybe a more heralded guy in DK Metcalf. So I think A.J. Brown is going to get to flex the guns today.
That's an interesting take. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you got your rival, I mean, I guarantee you he's been in his position coach's ear and OC's ear all week about you can't let me get outdone by my boy. So that's my hope there.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that take. I'm on board with it. Let's go ahead and hop on to the next question because, hey, guess what? It's still Julio in here.
Yep.
We have Chark, we have Drake, we have Robinson, and we have Jacob joining the chat. Welcome on, Jacob.
No, I didn't say anything. I just sort of stealthily lurked in the group chat. I saw a link. I was like, you know what? Let's do this. I got coffee ready. Let's answer some start and sit questions.
I've got a beer. I haven't cracked it open yet. I might end up doing it here before the end of the
show. See, I'm on Pacific time. It's not even 9 a.m. I can't really start drinking beer yet.
Damn.
But you're drinking coffee out of a wine glass. I love it.
Yeah, I got this cold brew, so I got to make it a little classier out of the wine glass.
He's a classy broad. All right, so we have Julio, we have Chark, we have Drake, we have I guess Julio or Chark, and then Drake or Robinson. So obviously with with Julio, we already talked about the weather conditions. Is it still nasty out there, Jacob, since you're on Pacific time?
No, it's looking a little bit better actually.
I was looking at the weather report. It said light rain. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna rain, but it's not gonna be like prohibitive. Like maybe as like a really borderline tiebreaker, but that would be it. It's gonna be all right.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So Julio or Chark, I mean, Jacksonville has a little bit of a tougher matchup up against Denver, I believe, right? Yeah, Denver. And then we already talked about Julio. So the weather conditions aren't going to affect it as much as what we saw. I'm still a little bit concerned about the field conditions, but these fields are built to sustain weather conditions.
Especially Seattle, right?
Yeah.
You know that the rain is a part of the equation over there.
Yeah, 100%. I don't like this matchup, but I do think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will have to pass.
That's right.
I think they're going to be down early, and I think that Chark will see more volume than Julio. I think Julio's targets might be a little bit more efficient, but I'm going to go Chark in this one personally. It's very, very close for me, though. We're talking about splitting hairs.
Agree. Completely.
Well, I'm outvoted, but for what it's worth, Brittany, if they fail you on Chark, I'm taking Julio just because I think the Titans will score more points. So I think we have a little more touchdown equity on Julio.
Okay, that makes sense.
The other one kind of depends on the scoring. Like if this is standard or half PPR, I'd probably lean Robinson. If it's a full PPR league, I think I would go with Drake just because I feel like he's a pretty safe bet to catch 4 or 5 balls in this game. I'm not really sure what they're going to do on the early down carries. I kind of don't care. Like whether it's Drake or Barber, they're going to run for 2 yards a carry against Pittsburgh. So like who actually cares? I do feel like Gruden's going to put Barber at the goal line, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get 11 carries for 16 yards and a touchdown of Peyton Barber today, and it's going to aggravate the crap out of you if you start getting Drake.
Yeah, it will really piss you off. I can't bring myself to play Robinson up against Denver. We already saw Carlos Hyde, pretty much steal touches away from him, and Denver's front seven, I mean, they're very, very solid up front. I just don't see a situation as to where Robinson is going to see much opportunity. I think that Robinson could see less than 10 touches this game. So I'm going to go Drake in this one. I think that he's going to have the touch share over him. And I think that the Raiders probably have a better chance of competing with Pittsburgh than the Jacksonville Jaguars have of competing with Denver. So I'm going to go Kenyon Drake in this one.
Yeah, I think that's all excellent points there. I'm rolling with Drake too. And I could actually see Drake getting a receiving touchdown this week.
Nice call.
Yeah, I like that one. I actually do like that take. All right, so we have Julio. Everybody's on Julio today, man. Julio, Corey Davis, or Devonta Smith in the flex. Obviously, Jacob and we covered on Wednesday how Jason Verrett is going to be out with the torn ACL, and that's actually on the same side.
Josh Norman.
Yeah. Dude, I like Josh
Former
Norman,
football teamer.
He ranked 17th in coverage last year, so he actually wasn't bad last year. It's just, that stiff arm, I think, put a little tarnish on his entire reputation. But, yeah, Devonta Smith is going to line up on the same side that Jason Verrett played. I don't remember who the backup is, but he's not good. Corey Davis, meanwhile, did very, very well last week, but he has the New England Patriots this week, which might be a way tougher matchup than what we've seen. Meanwhile, we've already covered Julio. We don't need to discuss him anymore. I'm going to go Vance Smith in this one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think he's going to see opportunity. I think he's going to be the main target, and he has an advantageous matchup. So he hits all the check marks for me. Meanwhile, Corey Davis doesn't do that. Neither does Julio. So
Bill Belichick hates the Jets. He will not allow that.
I mean, I agree with Smith. He had 25% target share week 1. He was 3rd in the entire NFL with a 52% air yard share. So I think really everybody else, Reg and Sanders and Gainwell, they're just scheming them into space. Devontae's the one creating that space. He's really their downfield threat, and he's their primary target threat.
Love that. All right, so we have Elijah Mitchell. Oh, man, this is going to be tough. Elijah Mitchell up against a very tough Eagles, front four.
He's carrying the load. He's carrying the load.
Dude, did you see the report about Trey Sermon, how he improved within a week? Like, that was insane.
He got more aggressive.
Remarkable improvement.
Remarkable improvement. So we have Elijah Mitchell, who had, could be seeing, some touches stolen away from Trey Sermon, who's shown remarkable improvement in 1 week. And then we have Tyson Williams, who Baltimore came out and said, I believe today or yesterday, that they are going to be playing the hot hand.
Oh yeah,
at running back.
The hot hand.
That narrative, I hate that one. Oh man, I don't love Elijah Mitchell this week up against the Eagles. I'm going to go Tyson Williams, but I think that you could bomb either way that you end up taking. There's very little upside, and there's a very, very low floor for both of these.
You got like an hour left to trade away your shares in Dynasty, baby. you got fire sale. Bring the prices down. I go with Elijah Mitchell just because of the pass blocking issue. I think against Kansas City, Baltimore has historically played like terrible against Kansas City. I expect them to probably be chasing points in this game. And I mean, Tyson Williams, his pass blocking on Monday night was horrendous. So I just can't imagine a scenario where if they fall behind and it becomes a game where they need to establish the pass, that they're going to have Tyson Williams out there just whiffing on blitz pickups and getting Lamar Jackson killed. I think that he's only effective in games that they're clearly going to be able to stay on run script. So I think I could easily see a scenario where if they're down like 10 at halftime, it's just going to be Latavius Murray because he's reliable. He'll pick up his blitz assignments and he's going to be washed. But that's probably going to still be what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's like I think, Tyson Williams' best chance is if Kansas City blitzes all day and can work in the screen game. But, I mean, you're splitting hairs between these two guys. It's not a great flex play, but just trust your gut on this one. I think either way you could, like you said, limited floor, limited ceiling. Manage your expectations, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, Samson over here.
Samson.
Good morning, fellas. Good luck today.
Opponent is Terry. That's tough.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough start. So you're going to need upside. You're going to need a significant
Julio.
upside. Flex Julio or CEH. Ooh, I'm going to go Julio in this one. Like Jacob said, you have the touchdown upside. Lots of potential there. I just don't see any upside with CEH. Like, I really don't. I know that he could end up getting maybe a touchdown in there because they will score a lot in this game. So it's very possible that they get on the 10-yard line and he catches an out route and, brings in the
or they just give it to Darrell Williams.
Yeah, so I just don't see the upside with CEH. I'm going to go Julio in hopes that he can give you a 2-touchdown performance.
I'll go Julio as well, especially for the upside. I'm really interested to see the Tennessee play action rate. Ryan Tannehill, really his career renaissance and the sort of special sauce of this Tennessee team is that they've been a run-heavy team, but they've run a ton of play action and they've played really fast. And they only ran like 10% play action. It used to be up over 30. I'm hopeful that maybe they were just getting shellacked and their coach wrongly thought that they can't run play action if you haven't established the run. And maybe this week they'll be able to be a little more balanced.
Didn't they only run one play action fake? Or maybe it was 2. I think it was
one. Two. I think it was 10% of dropback, so maybe like 3 or something like that.
Okay, God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
must have lost the sheet in the playbook.
All right, so we have actually this is a good one. We have Kenyon Drake or Chase Edmunds. Kenyon Drake we already talked about, but Edmunds up against Minnesota. I don't think that there's any way that I'm not playing Edmunds in this matchup. Is 100%. There any other disagreement?
It's Edmunds, and both these guys are 4,900 on DraftKings. So this is a straight-up decision that people will have to make in daily fantasy as well. They have the exact same salary, and I think I'm playing Drake in one of my lineups. I'm playing Edmunds in like 4. He's one of my favorite plays this week.
Yeah, kind of like almost like a contrarian take to go with Kenyon Drake over Chase Edmunds in DFS, and that could end up paying off to some of y'all that actually are in that area or that price range. All right, so we have Mike Williams. Yeah, exactly, on Chase Edmunds' side. So we have Mike Williams or Boyd.
Fantastic one here.
Mike Williams, I've already covered a million times when it comes to this matchup. I do not like.
What are you, Trayvon Diggs? You've covered him?
Yeah. I've been Trayvon Diggs covering, bigger receivers essentially while covering Mike Williams, who's actually up against Trayvon Diggs. Try and wrap your head around that. So yeah, Trayvon Diggs has done very, very well up against bigger, receivers. And actually, Rich Rebar covered this in his episode a couple days ago as well. And it's kind of funny because it's a week and a half after we talked about how matchups don't matter, but matchups do matter, especially for this one in particular, because Trayvon Diggs did shadow Mike Evans for the most part outside of a handful of snaps. And he also shadowed Hopkins. He also shadowed Claypool, which are all kind of similar type players for their bigger bodies. They do have a little bit of speed, but they're more of a jump ball type player. Yep. So Mike Williams fits that archetype, and Trayvon Diggs is very good at getting his hands on the defenders on the line of scrimmage and playing physical when the ball's in the air at the point of catch. So Trayvon Diggs for me, Mike Williams is a fade because of Trayvon Diggs. Meanwhile, Boyd has a decent matchup, I believe, up against, where is it?
Bears.
Chicago Bears, who have struggled in the slot from time to time.
Crushed them last week in the slot.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go Boyd in this one. I think Boyd could actually be a massive, massive upside play.
Absolutely.
Anybody disagree?
That's a ridiculous sentence, first of all, to say Tyler Boyd is a massive upside play. I mean,
I know it's weird, right? Because you get a floor with them, but you could also get an upside this week.
Yeah, what floor? Didn't he have one catch for 10 yards last week or something?
I'm talking about typically, not
crypto,
but typically.
I'm still gonna go with Williams, even though I agree with everything you said. I'm still gonna go with Williams just because I think that the Bears-Bengals game could kind of suck. The Bears are the worst team to play against because they won't give you anything on offense, and their defense is kind of decent. And so they just slow the game down and they kind of just kill everything. I hate whenever I see, at CHI, whenever I'm looking into my fantasy lineups. I'll take Williams. I don't think he's going to get the volume he got last week because everything you said, but I just think the Chargers might score 4 touchdowns and one of those could easily go to Williams.
Yeah, I'm taking Cincinnati to cover the 2 points there. So
that's a good call. I would take the Bengals as well.
That is a good one. I like that one. All right, so what's up on our next question? We have Melvin Gordon or Elijah Mitchell in this one. I think this one's just a dead giveaway for me. It's Melvin Gordon. Do we need to talk about it?
Lay out Melvin.
All right.
I played both the Denver running backs over Mitchell this week.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, man. Javonte Williams is sexy. I love it. All right. Kenyon Drake or Tavon Williams. We already talked about how.
Do they mean Tyson Williams or do they mean Javonte Williams?
Ooh, that's a good question. If you could verify that for us, I'm going to assume, verify that for us in the chat. If one of you guys can keep your eye down at the bottom of the chat so we can see if they pop in. But I'm guessing it's Williams from the Saints, possibly. I'm
going to rank this. I would rank it. I'll put it this way. I'll just cover all of them. I would play Javonte number 1, Drake number 2, and Tyson Williams number 3.
Yeah, I'm on board with that 100%.
Agreement here, Hunter. Yep, got it.
That's it from the Saints. I'm at the Ravens. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Jamie's in the chat. What's up, Jamie, man? This is one of my favorite supporters in the group. Big shout out to Jamie. Miles Sanders or Landry?
Ooh,
he's leaning Landry. Shocker for a homer.
I wonder why Jamie's actually leaning Landry, the Browns fan.
Yeah.
Now, I like Landry's matchup up against Houston, right? They should be throwing a good amount. Houston showed that they're somewhat decent on offense. However, the Browns defense should be better than what we saw up against the Chiefs. So we don't know if they're going to be scoring a whole ton. But, man, I like Miles Sanders up against the 49ers, who just allowed both Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift to just have a massive, massive game. I'm going to go Sanders on this one. It's not even relatively close for me. What do y'all think?
I'm on Landry. I'm sort of on your contrarian point. They got run all over. I bet you that was a point of emphasis this week. So I think they come out strong against the run. And I think I'm going Landry because of positive game script for Cleveland. He's kind of proof against that in the passing game because he likes those short routes that just get them help subsidize the running game.
I'm going to go with Miles Sanders to break the tie here. First of all, Nick Sirianni is wearing an Allen Iverson jersey in warm-ups.
Yes, he is.
And so that has to up your projections on every Philadelphia Eagle.
I didn't know that.
I don't think people are factoring that into the ranks. And then second of all, look, I just get scared with the Browns in this spot a little bit because they're going to be able to score on Houston, I think, however they desire to. And I just feel like there's going to be one or two of these guys are going to just have luck go against them where they just didn't end up getting the targets early. They didn't get the touchdowns early. And then you're looking up at the scoreboard and it's 21-0 and they're going to sit on the ball and your guy has 6 points and you're like, oh shit, they're not going to score anything. So I just feel like, I don't know how the Browns are going to win this game. I'm pretty sure they're going to win by 3 touchdowns. I'm just not sure how those are going to happen. Like it could be Landry. It could be just Chubb busting a big run. It could be Hunt breaking a screen pass. It could be a bomb to Schwartz or DPJ or any other 3 tight ends. They just spread the ball around so much. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Landry only gets like 5 targets because it wouldn't surprise me if Baker Mayfield throws like 18 passes.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick. Like, do you think Nick Chubb gets over 93.5 rushing yards and receiving yards combined this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it like a lock? Like, people in the chat, is this a lock for you guys that he's going to go over 93.5 yards? Because, I mean, I think it's a lock.
Yeah, I
think it's a lock because of what I said, right? Like, what if they have like, I don't know, first drive is normal. Second drive, they hit a 60-yard bomb to Anthony Schwartz for a touchdown. Like I've seen this story. I'm a seasoned Nick Chubb manager, and I've seen this horror movie before where everything is setting up well for Nick Chubb, but then they score like a defensive touchdown or some weird stuff happens. They're up 3 touchdowns. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna rest Chubb. We're just gonna run Hunt in there for the whole second half, and you just hate your life. You're watching it like it's Clockwork Orange. So I don't think it's a lock, but I mean, yeah, I'm going to bet on it. He could have 2 if they want to let him. He could have 300 yards today.
As a seasoned Nick Chubb owner myself, I have been well invested in Kareem Hunt over the past several seasons, paying up to a 2nd-round pick for him just for the insurance. And I will tell you, it has been the best flex play in insurance because it just takes it all off my slate. And I will say that is my flex play of the week, Kareem Hunt, for all of the reasons that Jacob just went into. We're going to have a negative game script. They will score at will. Chubb will get his, and I guarantee you that they use this as some respite for Chubb too, because he takes those big boy runs.
Well, it's so frustrating because they play it smart with Chubb, right? Like if you're a Browns fan, sorry Chase, I mean,
no, you're good.
If you're a Browns fan, it's what you want to see, right? Like they have Chubb in a $37 million contract. They're going to want to preserve him. So it's like, why should they keep banging Chubb and his head in the ground against the Texans? The problem is he's so fickle because, I mean, he's the best running back in the NFL or one of them. But it's like if they fall too far behind, it's Hunt. If they get too far ahead, it's Hunt. It's like to have the Chubb ceiling game, you need them to be up by exactly 7 to 10 points. And it's just, I don't know. I love Nick Chubb so much, but I'm in this constant state of anxiety with Nick Chubb.
Me and you both, man. Me and you both.
No, so the reason why I asked, right, is because Thrive Fantasy is actually offering it's offering a bonus, right? If you guys are on fantasy football discussion, right, and you think that Chubb is going to go over 93.5 yards, right? If it's a lock for you, go on to thrivefantasy.com, use promo code Marcus, and they'll actually match any deposit up to $100 for you guys. Go check out Thrive Fantasy. You just pick 10 over-unders, of who you think is actually going to go off. You enter into a competition, and if you end up winning, you win up to 10 grand in their contest today. So go check it out, thrivefantasy.com, use promo code Marcus. But let's go ahead and head back to these questions. We have Cameron in the chat saying Hamler, Parker, Jones, Fournette, Hardman. Who you starting? Who you sitting? We need to know how many people you have to start, how many people you have to sit. We can still try and run through this, but if you guys are asking questions, let us know. Yep, let's do it. So Parker's in there, right? Because Will Fuller's missing some time, so he's going to be playing this upcoming week. He has a decent matchup over there, so I do like Parker.
Hardman's last for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's. Are we talking about Aaron Jones as well?
No, that's got to be Ronald Jones.
Julio Jones?
If Aaron Jones is part of this, then he's on the wrong list. That's disrespectful. If Aaron Jones is hanging around
it can't
with
be
these
Aaron
jabronis.
Jones.
All right, I'm going to go Parker, Fournette, Jones, Hamler, Hardman.
Okay, I will go Fournette, Parker, Hamler, Hardman, Jones.
Ooh, you're really off on Jones. You just traded. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, you just traded for Jones.
Yeah, because my other plan is starting Latavius Murray.
Oh, man. So Latavius Murray is below that. Okay.
I mean, did you watch him on Monday night? It looked like a corpse, was out there taking handoffs. I thought he was going to die at any moment.
It's very possible, but he's a better pass blocker than Tyson Williams. So
that's all.
And to be fair, they could have just pulled him out of a bar, too. We don't know. He might have just been tying on one in New Orleans after he got cut. Phone rings. Oh shit! It's now.
No, I mean honestly, I don't really know why I was feeling. I think it was just take locked. Like I was pretty locked into thinking Latavius was a good play this summer that was underpriced because he looked really good last year. And then, we got cut by New Orleans, and I was just like, oh, like he'll probably take over Baltimore. Why didn't register with me that like, oh, he probably got cut because he showed up and he looked completely washed. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Tony Jones Jr. that
Tojo. Would you rather start Tojo or Rojo?
Oh God.
I mean, after last week's negative performance, I'm going Tojo all day. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No,
would you sit?
All right, so we sit Claypool or Devonta Smith for Jacob Myers.
No.
I don't think there's any way I'm going either one of those. So we'll hop on to the next question. Antonio Brown or Chase Edmunds, half point PPR. So AB has a potential to have like 2 touchdowns this upcoming game, right? Like he could just tear the roof off Atlanta. Meanwhile, Edmunds has a great matchup as well. I think I'm going to go Edmunds and half point PPR over Antonio Brown.
No, I'm going to go with AB because Tom Brady don't give a fuck. If they get up 28 points, he's still going to be chucking deep bombs to AB. He don't care. He don't care.
I mean, Tom Brady and Antonio Brown is the best combination of quarterback and wide receiver until they prove otherwise. AB is still that dude, and if he can keep his head in the game, that's going to be the number 1 fantasy option at wide receiver on that team come the end of the year.
Wow. I just love the Bucs so much because they're the one team that doesn't care about the game script. Like if they're up 28-0 at halftime and then they get the ball to start the third quarter, it's going to be like play action 70-yard deep shot to Antonio Brown because Brady doesn't just want to feast. He just wants to rub it in your face relentlessly.
All right, so Alias is Swift playing. So the most recent report that I just looked up 2 seconds ago when they were talking said that he is trending up towards playing and that it would take a setback in order for him to be sacked. So they think that he's going to play as of right now. If something happens between now and then Jamal Williams would be the solo.
Did you freeze up, Chase?
Yep.
Oh, or did I freeze up?
I think Chase did.
Oh, all right. It was me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything
Thielen
I've heard
or
says
Godwin half. Oh, okay, cool. All right, Thielen or Godwin half point PPR. Oh man, Thielen with that touchdown upside is sexy this week, but Godwin, you can't fade Godwin.
Yeah, not yet.
I'm gonna play the God.
Yeah, play Godwin. All right, half point PPR, Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle. So yeah, I think Smith is like the lock here. Smith is going to be like a top 20 option this week. Meanwhile, Waddle is, I don't know if he's going to be a lock to put up, 20 fantasy points or even 15 fantasy points for that matter, or especially in half point PPR. I'm going to lock in Smith for this one.
I think it's about time that we stop putting Devonta Smith and start sit questions.
Yeah, he's proven that. I agree. He's really starting to flex all 178 pounds of his frame.
So we went from talking about Devonta Smith and his drops and if he was actually worthy to be a first-round pick into, hey, we need to stop talking about this guy within a month's time period. So, yeah, that's where we are, fantasy football community. All right.
We move quick.
Where are you that you're on PST, Jacob? That was a question.
Trav, I'm in Vancouver, baby. I'm originally from Winnipeg, but I go to law school out here in Vancouver, British Columbia. So I'm in beautiful British Columbia, Westbrook Village right now. If any of the fans are out here in the Pacific Northwest, feel free to come say hi.
All right. We got, let's see, Superflex, PPR.
Oh, that's just disrespectful.
Mitchell or Carson Wentz?
That is a disrespectful question. I mean, come on.
As he's wearing the Colts hat.
Come on.
My God. That's
Come
amazing. On. This is the best question of the entire day.
On.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you so much for this question.
I mean, okay, Carson Wentz, does he suck? Yes. However, it's a super flex league. Like you can't bench Carson Wentz for a 6th round running back who might not even get any carries. Like get out of here, Marcus. This is a personal attack. I'm filing a harassment complaint on Marcus. Super flex. Should I bench Wentz for Elijah Mitchell?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Just drop Wentz. You don't deserve him.
I'm going to go Wentz as well. You can't go Elijah Mitchell. I really, really wanted to say Elijah Mitchell just to piss Jacob off, but he's already pissed off enough.
That being said, like Aaron Donald might might end Wentz's life today. It's possible.
Really, seriously.
It is possible.
This could be the last game of Carson Wentz's career. You really want to bench him?
Oh
he better hopes Nelson stays out there every single snap.
Yeah.
God, man.
We got Eric Fisher back today.
So we have Jefferson or Lockett.
How good is your team? Is this a 2-team league?
8-man league, yeah.
Nick, man, this is crazy. Who are you starting right now? That's what I want to know. I want to know who the starting players are.
Both.
Yeah,
either.
both.
Oh my God.
I think volume upside with Jefferson, deep ball, moon ball upside with Lockett.
All right, so I have slight concerns with both these. We obviously talked about the weather conditions not being that big of an issue, but that is a slight concern. My other concern for Jefferson, which is a slight concern, is the fact that this attacking this pass rushing defense for Arizona is really, really good. And we just saw what they did to Tennessee. This is a very, very young offensive line for Minnesota.
Don't worry about it. Kirk Cousins is always good under pressure.
Jacob, that was brilliant. Yes, exactly my point. So I'm going to go Lockett for that reason. I think that, if Kirk Cousins constantly sees Watt and Jones in his face, and if Chandler Jones can rack up another 5 sacks 2 weeks in a row, it's possible.
Double digits by week 2.
Dude, that'd be insane. That would be absolutely insane. You know how crazy Vegas would go with bets of him breaking Trahan's record? That would be nuts.
My God.
But I'm going Lockett for that reason.
Same. And Justin Jefferson's young and probably went out on Mill Street last night in Tempe, got all tuned up. So that's my bet there.
I'll take Lockett, but I mean, seriously, how this league can't be that shallow. You got to find a way to start both these guys. These are like 2 top 12 wide receivers this week.
All right, so we have
no.
You don't,
Jose. No way, Jose.
No way, Jose.
Yep, no way.
Oh no, you don't.
It's a good one.
He said, "Nice name." That's crazy. Look at this. 2 different Jose Vegas in the same chat. All right, we got Marquise Brown or Corey Davis. Worried about the Pats shutting Davis down. Dude, I think it's a legitimate concern. I really do. Marquise Brown, though, has Kansas City. And Kansas City, I mean, they allow deep balls from time to time.
Yep.
Listen, the Ravens are going to be down most likely in this game, and they're going to have to pass. I like Marquise Brown in this matchup. I really do. I'm starting the Scott Fishbowl. So I'm going Marquise Brown.
Same. Yep.
I'll
Bill
still go
Belichick
Davis. I just trust the target share. I mean, Sammy Watkins was running as the wide receiver 1 for the Ravens last week, not Marquise.
He runs as the wide receiver 1 for every team.
Every week 1.
In week 1.
No, but I don't
30
mean
points a week.
Produce
Week 1.
more. I mean, he ran more routes. He had a higher target share. The off. If you were an alien brought down from space and you didn't know who any of these people were, you would have clearly thought Sammy Watkins was the wide receiver 1. I don't expect Mark Andrews to get virtually blanked again. So I don't know. I would prefer Davis because he's such a clear number 1. They don't even have Crowder, so I don't know. I would still go Davis, but you guys make a good point.
All right, so we have Elijah Mitchell.
Stop the Smith questions. It's always Smith.
I don't hate Robert Woods this week.
I think I'm taking Bob Woods here. Yeah.
I'm still so Jacob and I actually talked about this at an extensive amount on Wednesday's show, and he kind of got me off of Robert Woods a little bit. I still like Robert Woods this week, and I love him for DFS with Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford as a stack because I think very few people are going to go with 2 top-end wide receivers on the same team. But anyways, I'm going to go Devonta Smith over Robert Woods this week. That's how much I like Devonta Smith. I think he's going to smash. I think he's going to absolutely smash. All right, we have Mike Davis.
I'm sketch on Woods. 67% of routes is no bueno for me. I don't want to start him.
Yeah. Okay. Mike Davis versus Tampa Bay or Gainwell up against San Francisco. I'm going Kenny Gainwell on this one, baby. I mean, we talked about how bad San Francisco was up against the running backs in the passing game. Kenny Gainwell, that's where he specializes in, along with, when they spread out the offense and he's able to have running lanes to just skirt through. I like Kenny Gainwell in this matchup. He's one of my favorite DFS targets. I have him probably a good 30 or 40% of my leagues. Meanwhile, Mike Davis up against Tampa Bay, that is a no-go and absolutely sit for me. I would rather not play anybody than play Mike Davis in my flex position because it could be that bad this week.
And shout out to Al Horford, big fan.
Well, I had to get my Celtics hat on because Al Horford is asking us this question, our starting power forward.
That's awesome.
So to support Al Horford, look, the biggest support I can give Al is a hug because this is a decision that it's unfortunate you have to make him too. Imagine drafting Mike Davis in round 5, sometimes even round 4, and then immediately by week 2 you're like, should I play this guy over a rookie who got drafted after a kicker? That's unfortunate. But You should play the rookie. You got drafted after a kicker. I would play Kenny Gainwell this week.
Yep. Agree.
Oh, we just answered that one a second ago. So we're going to move on to this one. Sit Claypool.
We did this one.
Oh, yeah, we did. Wait, am I behind? No. Okay, they just asked again. All right. Beasley or Hunt in the flex spot. Beasley saw 15 targets last week.
Yeah, he sure did, baby.
Oh, man.
And I want to play slot guys against Miami because they got Howard and Jones on the outside. It's going to funnel targets into the slot.
This is tough because I really, really like Hunt. And, I've been a big supporter of Hunt for a long time. But I have to go Beasley in this one.
That's just big.
I'm going contrarian.
I didn't know you were a defense attorney.
I'm going Hunt.
I'm gonna take Vin Beasley. I think that he's really set up. He's one of my DFS conviction plays this week. Is Cole Beasley? Like I said, 14 targets. You're gonna get Howard and Jones locking down Diggs and Sanders. I'm expecting to see a lot of targets for Beasley.
Yeah, and full point PPR. I've got to go Beasley on this one.
Yeah, there's no vaccination for good slot
receivers. For 60 yards. Jack.
All right, we have Singletary, Jamal Williams, or Chenault in half-point PPR. I know who I'm locking in on this one. It's a revenge game, baby. I'm going Jamal Williams in this one. I think that he sees a ton of targets. I think that he sees a good amount of carries on first and second down. He should see the goal line work if they get in close. DeAndre Swift is obviously dealing with some injuries. Jamal Williams is supposedly fully recovered from his that he suffered. I'm locking in Jamal Williams. I think that he's going to smash this week. I love Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
What was the quote that he gave? It's not like I want him to go. They said it's like an ex-girlfriend. You got to get out. I got to go. But that's all right. The Lions, they pick me up. They feed me good. You know what I mean? They take me to dinners. You know what I mean? So it's all right.
Dude, I don't know whether I like that one better or his SpongeBob comment from last year. I feel like SpongeBob swimming around in the sea all free and stuff when I'm running like that.
I'm like, Olaf.
Yeah.
He's a trip.
Oh, did you see the one where the quote about why you should date nerds?
No, I missed that one.
Oh, it's the best. Look it up. He talked about how into anime he is. And then he talked about why women should date dudes who are into anime because they're prepared for all these different situations. I mean, he's a gem. He's a national treasure. I love that guy.
Yeah, I'm going Jamal Williams in this one. Chenault's close, but, and he's going to get the volume. But Chenault's upside is just so capped. I can't get on board with that. All right, so we have Mike Williams or Kenyon Drake. I'm going Kenyon Drake, and it's not really close for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Mike Williams.
I'll go Drake.
We've got Corey Davis or Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, this is getting closer, but up against Las Vegas in that poor secondary, I'm going to go Juju Smith-Schuster. He's seen the snaps. They're trying to get him involved, and hopefully Ben Roethlisberger doesn't try and shot put all of his balls from here on out. I don't know if you guys saw that throw he tried to make. That was absolutely atrocious.
Ben's biggest asset right now is underthrowing receivers by 5 yards so that they draw defensive pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent of his throwing regimen. But
and luckily, Juju Smith-Schuster doesn't run 5 yards down the field.
Right, I would take Juju because all Juju does is basically run a tight end route tree. He has the same route tree as Austin Hooper, which is run a 7-yard curl, catch it, and then Austin Hooper just falls down, and then Juju occasionally breaks a tackle. I would play Juju. And 12, you're going to have a great time with those 11 targets for 8 catches and 48 yards.
Yep. If that. 48's a lot.
What's up, Landon? Good to see you in the chat again, as always. We have Matt Ryan or Mac Jones. Matt Ryan has a tough matchup this week. I know that they're kind of porous in the secondary, but that offensive line is terrible. They're going to sack Matt Ryan 5 times this week, minimum. And he's probably going to throw a couple interceptions. Meanwhile, Mac Jones up against, the Jets. Come on, give me Mac Jones.
Matt Ryan, he might just be washed, guys.
Play Patriots again. Bill Belichick hates the Jets.
Renee, I don't know what this meant, but I hope that everything's okay. We are answering questions for followers and for anybody that's in the group. All right, we have pick 2 to start. Full PPR, non-tight end, super flex, Hawkinson. Wait,
is that Jonathan Taylor or JJ Taylor?
I'm guessing that's Jonathan Taylor. Superflex, Hawkinson, Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, or Higgins.
And then premium.
Ooh, This one's a little bit interesting. I think that it's a contrarian play to play. Well, we're not talking DFS. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is going to have a very good game. He's actually the more efficient pass catcher for the Colts, which is kind of crazy because you think of Nyheim Hines. But the guy who's actually averaged more yards per reception and more targets, like you're talking about Jonathan Taylor as of late. So, or I'm sorry, more receptions, I believe. I don't remember what the stat was. But Jonathan Taylor has been the better pass catcher over there for the Colts. I really, really like Jonathan Taylor this week. I think that's going to be my lock. Hawkinson's close, but I can't even think about comparing a tight end, although with the targets.
Yeah, pick two to start. Pick two to start.
Oh, shit, I picked two. Okay, I'm going Jonathan Taylor and Hawkinson.
I'm also going to do JT and Hawk. Expect to see some 2 running back sets at Indianapolis today. Paris Campbell got ruled out with an abdomen injury. Pittman is playing, but it's Pittman, Pascal, and then the wide receiver 3 there is Mike Strawn. So with Hilton out and with Campbell out, I expect to see, even if they're trailing in this game, Taylor stay in the backfield and Hines kind of take over as a bit of a slot weapon. I would expect some 2 tight ends, 2 running back sets, and probably some 2 tight end sets.
I'll take Higgins and Hawk. I think the Rams are going to put a hell of a lot of pressure on the Colts today. I think Higgins is the best receiver there on a crowded wide receiver group, and Hawkinson is clearly the dominant presence getting targets from Detroit.
All right, we got about 15 more minutes, so get those starter sit questions in before we are out of here, guys. We want to go watch some football too, so get those starter sit questions in. All right, we have Edmunds or Callaway in the flex.
Edmunds.
It's Edmunds, not even close for me. We have flex 2, Tyson Williams, Robbie Anderson, or Chase Claypool. This is kind of interesting.
I'll take the wideouts. Yeah, I'll take the wideouts.
Yeah, I think I will too. I think Claypool at least gets 1 touchdown in this game. I don't know about the volume that he'll see, but he'll get a touchdown. Meanwhile, Robbie Anderson, should remain relevant. He was relevant, last week. I think we could see it again this upcoming week.
Tyson Give me a Chase Claypool prop on a rushing touchdown.
Ooh, that's actually not a bad take. I kind of like that. All right, so again, we have almost a similar question. Yeah, that's not going to change anything. So we're going Robbie Anderson in this one.
Robbie, yep.
Devo Samuel, Landry, Brandon Cooks, Watkins, sit 1. Oh, this is a good question, but I'm sitting Watkins. I don't want to rely on him from week to week up until he proves he can do it outside of week 1. We've just seen it year after year after year where he performs week 1 and then never does anything the whole rest of the season. I don't know what it is about that. It's kind of like the Ryan Fitzpatrick thing where he has to start 1 game for no matter what team it is, at the beginning of the season. So I'm going to look at, Devo Samuel, Landry, and Brandon Cooks for this one. I don't like the Cooks matchup, but I just don't want to rely on Watkins. All right, in flex spots, I'm starting Jamal Williams and Rager. Need 1 between Pollard, Hamler, and Terrace Marshall.
Pollard for me.
Hamler for me.
I'm going to go Hamler. Yeah, I'm going to go Hamler. It's
be a deep league if you're already starting Jamal and Rager, and then you're moving into one of these 3.
Yeah.
Deep league or you're going to lose, one of the 2.
Hell, it might be our league.
That could be. That's pretty deep.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Hamler in this one just because he offers the upside, and I don't know what Pollard's upside is, in terms of putting up points. And, if you get 5 points from Pollard, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, I don't expect any of these guys to get more than 5 to 6 opportunities, but Hamler kind of only needs 1, right? Like if Hamler has 1 catch for 50 yards and a touchdown, he already paid off.
Yep, that's a great point. Yeah, so if he gets 5 opportunities, 1 literally will pay off for you. Meanwhile, Terrace Marshall could be relevant in the red zone, but I don't want to rely on red zone targets over there. I'm going to rely on Hamler.
I don't want to do anything that associates myself with Darnold against the Saints defense, really.
True story. Absolutely. True story. All right, so we have Claypool versus Sutton. This is a little bit closer.
Chase Claypool for me. I think Ben gets it done today.
I'm going to say if you need a floor, right? Like if you need 10 points, guaranteed,
Sutton.
I'm going Sutton. Like if you're projected to win this matchup and you just need somebody that's safe that you can play in your lineup, I would go Sutton. But if you're projected to lose, let's say you played McLaurin, right? McLaurin on Thursday night, and you're like, shit, I'm going to get crushed by 20 points. I need a big play. I'm going to go with Claypool.
Well put. 100% agree with that.
Probably agree with that. In general, I probably like Claypool more. Sanders for me.
Miles Sanders is in my top 10 running backs this week.
Can't stand him.
All right, let's see.
Aaron. Yep.
Was that way
Rodgers and Donald. Rodgers and Donald. Start them both.
Okay.
Aaron
Aaron?
McCaffrey, Adams, Jefferson, or Lockett.
Oh, Jones, McCaffrey. Chubb, Barkley.
What? I mean, how do you have this good of a team?
If you get the chance, I would bench Barkley.
That's what. Okay, so you know how we were talking about Jefferson versus Lockett and who he had to start over that? Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how
So you had all these choices and you played Barkley?
He's in a 6-team league.
6. Okay, so we got it. At least our math. Is
All right.
You Barkley? Oh my god.
Yeah,
dude.
Barkley. You had to sit Barkley on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so you have Devontae or Gaskin, full PPR. This one's pretty close for me overall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Gaskin in this one, but it's very, very close. Yeah, I'm going to go Gaskin.
Same.
Yeah, oil prices rising. Got to play the gas king.
Jesus, Jacob. All right, we have Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I think Aaron Rodgers can have a chance to storm back this week. This is a terrible defense with Detroit.
Yeah.
I think I got to go Aaron Rodgers over Russell Wilson.
Yep.
The thing that scares me is like the weather is fine and the field is fine, and then all of a sudden you have a shootout between Tannehill, who's also fine, and last week was just a bad week, and the Seahawks can't get pressure on him, so Russell Wilson has to throw for 5 touchdowns, run for 40 yards, and all of a sudden you're looking at a blow game for Russell Wilson. But I mean, I don't know how you don't play Aaron Rodgers up against Detroit. I really don't.
Yeah, he'll be pissed off.
I'll still play Russ. I think they're kind of the same guy now. Like Russ doesn't really run anymore, neither does Aaron. I think they're kind of the same dude. They don't pass at a super high volume. They throw a bunch of touchdowns. They're both playing terrible, terrible secondaries, like 2 of the worst 5 secondaries in the league. I just think the Titans have a better chance of fighting back. So I would go with Russ. But I think both are great plays.
If you guys like prop bets, make sure y'all go check out thrivefantasy.com. Once again, that's thrivefantasy.com. You guys can place your prop bets. So we have, we have Josh Allen, right? His passing yards plus rushing yards are 312.5. Are you all taking the over or under on that? I'm going to take the over on that.
How many yards?
312 pass plus rushing yards. 312 up against Miami.
There are some weather concerns too in that game. Actually.
I'll take the under. I'll take the under on that one.
I'll still take the over. I mean, it seems like they're still just going to throw it as much as humanly possible, and I think he'll be more efficient than last week.
Well, if you guys think that you can actually get that prop bet right, go check out thrivefantasy.com. You just select 10 different prop bets in your contest. The person with the most amount of points ends up taking that $10,000 prize. If you guys enter in and use promo code Marcus, they'll actually match anything up to $100 on your deposit. So go check that out. thrivefantasy.com, promo code Marcus, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. All right, so we have Claypool, Boyd, Callaway, or Waddle, 4-point PPR. Ooh. I think I'm going to go Boyd in this one.
I think so, too, with the full PPR.
You guys really love Tyler Boyd.
I'm not a huge fan of Tyler Boyd, to be honest with you. I have 0 shares of Tyler Boyd. I just like
he's my third favorite Bengals receiver.
I'll take Claypool because I'll take Claypool, and that means that I get like 3 extra inches on my dick versus these guys that are picking Tyler Boyd.
I can't with you. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Jamal Williams or Swift. This one's closer for me. Oof. I mean, I'd wait until game time actually comes up.
Yeah.
And then see if Swift is going to be healthy and going to have the full workload. If they have any concerns whatsoever of Swift maybe getting
because they're usually very honest about the limits on DeAndre's workload.
Very true. I don't know, man. I'm
going
to go Swift if he's fully healthy.
Same, and they won't start him as some decoy BS play. Like if he's going to start, he'll play.
I don't really see the concern with Swift's injury. I mean, it's the same injury. It's not like it's a new injury. He's been nursing a groin forever. They nursed him to the tune of 68% of the snaps in week 1. He got a full practice in on Saturday. I think you're just firing, like, unless he's inactive, obviously. I mean, your best case scenario, frankly, Colin, is that he's inactive because then you get Jamal Williams playing 100% of the snaps. So that would be awesome. But I would play Swift. I mean, 68% of snaps versus 32%.
Yep.
I'll take it. All right, so need 2. Javonte, Mitchell, Parker. Thanks. All right, we're fading Mitchell, right? Parker and Javonte Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those would be the 2 for
me.
me.
I think so. Yep.
All right, let's see. Need 1 PPR. Damian Harris, Claypool, Eli Mitchell.
Easy one for me.
Claypool.
I'm going Damian Harris.
Yeah, same for me. Harris.
Damian Harris is a lock for me in this lineup. You still sticking Claypool?
Oh,
you
yeah.
sure?
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was reading there. I'm an idiot.
Damian Harris.
No, Damian Harris, starting running back, always.
Ramondre inactive, too.
Yep.
Winston Callaway / Higgins, or Burrow and Higgins half PPR.
Burrow,
So
Higgins.
I'm guessing you're looking for the stack.
You need a quarterback and a wide receiver. Burrow and Higgins.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I go Burrow, Higgins as well. Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Yep.
Don't yell at her, dude.
I'm yelling with her. I just Crowder's not playing.
Yelling with her.
You're gonna get Elijah Moore. I mean, he played all the snaps last week. He didn't do anything. But especially if we get the classic Belichick narrative where they take away your best option and they take away Corey Davis, the only other option is Elijah Moore and babyface killer Tyler Croft.
All right, so you're right. It is Elijah Moore.
I'm yelling with her. I'm going to use that from now on.
I'm yelling with her, man. Guys, we only got a couple questions lined up. I got a couple from Ricky Blaze after this one. So if you have any start sit questions, please get them in now. We're going to be finishing up here in about 3 questions.
Lightning round.
Mike's question is offensive to me, by the way, whenever we get the mics.
Wentz, Rodgers,
Oh, Jesus.
Tyrod, need 2 out of 4 tight end premium.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the tight end premium?
I don't understand what the tight end premium has to do with it, but the 2 QB, whatever. You need 2 quarterbacks.
Tyrod and A-Rod. Give me the rods today.
I'll go Rodgers and Cousins. I think Tyrod is about to have his life destroyed by Myles Garrett repeatedly.
I'm going to go Carson Wentz. No, I'm just kidding. I would never go Carson Wentz. I'm going to go Rodgers and Cousins in this one.
I mean, I'll take Wentz over a running back in the super flex, but now we have actual quarterbacks to compare him to. So
I had a nightmare like that, being stuck in the middle of a airplane seat between Wentz and Cousins, just being bored out of my mind. It's like purgatory.
Yeah, well, also they probably give you COVID.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's Cole Beasley coughing behind me.
Yeah.
All right, Rodgers and Cousins for me. All right, Ricky, we've got Hines or Drake.
Hines.
Full PPR.
Yeah. Full PPR Hines.
It's Hines for me. I don't want to play Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, I don't either.
I wouldn't have wanted to play Jacobs this week against the Steelers. I certainly don't want to play Drake.
I'm gonna go Hines as well. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Juju. The Christian Kirk 2 touchdown game. No, we're not doing this. We're not. I'm not
He'll finish the season with 6 touchdowns.
I forecasted the Christian Kirk game, but I said Rondale Moore on accident because I was talking about the slot receiver, and I thought Rondale Moore would end up having more snaps in the slot. That did not happen. I wanted that matchup against Tennessee. Breon Borders is terrible in the slot over there, so I wanted that matchup. Christian Kirk does not have the same matchup this week. I know it's still a good matchup up against the Vikings, but not nearly as good as what it was up against Breon Borders. I'm going Juju, who should see all the targets in the world this upcoming week.
Yep.
All right, we got Swift
out of here. This was the one that triggered me. DeAndre Swift. We're not playing Rojo over DeAndre Swift.
Triggered you.
One of these guys was a top 5 running back last week. The other one scored negative points. Zach Moss was a better play than Rojo last week.
I would rather start Flojo than Rojo. Yeah. Flojo over Rojo. Yeah, anybody.
All right, we have the Steelers. We've been talking about it all day.
I assume this is a defense question?
Yep. Up against Derek Carr. Okay. Or we have the Denver Broncos up against Jacksonville. Maybe, and I'm not saying that this is likely, but maybe the Raiders are better than what we think that they are, right? We've been criticizing the Raiders nonstop, and then they come out and they play really, really well up against really good teams, right? Yeah, it does. The Raiders are always underrated, and yet, they always perform.
They're underrated.
Yeah, I think they're underrated. What are
we talking about the Raiders? Pun.
What? I missed it.
Underrated.
Oh,
Raiders.
Raiders.
Yes, underrated. I got it. Yes. Yeah. All right. So no, I'm going with the Broncos in this one. I think that the Steelers could actually, not be as good as what we think they are, and the Raiders might be better than what we think they are. The Broncos are going to destroy Jacksonville.
Yep.
Defense
travels.
Playing in this game. They're going to be coming after Trevor Lawrence. He'll be leaving on a jet plane. Give me John Denver Broncos.
Yep. They're going to
man, you're on it. You're quick. You're witty.
I don't know how to come up with this stuff at 9 a.m.
Those boys are going to put Trevor Lawrence's ass in the grass today.
I think for me.
All right. Hurts or Tannehill? Hurts, I think, has an awesome matchup this week up against the 49ers.
Yeah, it hurts so good.
Tannehill's a great matchup too, by the way.
Just play the guy who runs.
Yeah. All right. I'm going Hurts as well. Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Corey Davis can start 3. Who do I bench?
I would bench Corey Davis.
Yep.
Davis. Yeah, go with your 3 studs out there.
Okay, don't call Juju a stud. That's too far.
All right, we have Niners or Cardinals
He's
defense.
just Cole Beasley with TikToks.
All right, so the Niners could force a bunch of turnovers, but they could also end up getting in a very high-scoring matchup. It really depends on the scoring. Yeah, for the Niners, but I mean, either way, I'm going to go Cardinals.
You still get points for sacks, right?
Yep.
So
Chandler Jones is possessed, and we don't know if the demons have been exercised. So roll with the hot hand.
Yep, I'm going with the Cardinals as well. I think that actually wraps it up for us, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Real quick, before we get out of here, let everybody know where to find you guys. We'll start out with you, Jordan.
I'm on Twitter at SantosLHalper83. You can find all of my lovely content on fantasyintervention.com. So follow us both, and hope to talk to y'all again soon.
Hey, we're also going to be on a show tonight. We're going to have a doubleheader, me and you.
Whew.
We're actually going to be on for Dynasty Happy Hour, premiering Chasing Points, where every other week we go on for Dynasty Happy Hour, and we actually talk about, do a little quick recap. It happens around 7:30 on YouTube. I believe you can find them at youtube.com/DHH or Dynasty. Whoa! Oh, that was loud. DHH or Dynasty Happy Hour, youtube.com. Go check out Dynasty Happy Hour, and we will be doing a recap on there with Thomas Tipple, who is actually the co-host for Jacob's show. Jacob, where can we find you? What you got going on?
Yeah, you can find me, like, talk about joining circles, right? Like our beautiful circles come together. All of a sudden, we got Tom hosting shows with me, Tom hosting shows with you. You can find me on Twitter, FF_RTDB. I'll be tweeting all day long throughout the football games. Hopefully, I'll make some good jokes. Otherwise, they'll probably just catch me tilting when people I don't want to score. You can find me on Wednesdays, of course, with Chase and with Shane, right here on the same channel. You can find me on Fridays with Tom and with Billy for the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. You can find me on Saturdays for No Free Squares. That's my DFS show on the Full Tilt Network. And you can find my writing up on Player Profiler, including the Pareto Principles, which is my weekly DFS column. And otherwise, just enjoy the games, everybody. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to be doing these shows on Wednesdays with you guys. We get a ton of interaction from fantasy football discussion. So we appreciate you guys in the group chat. We appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube and Twitter as well. But yeah, fantasy football discussion, man, you guys have been great. You guys have been some of my favorite people in this community. And on Sundays, of course, lining up these questions for us. That's why we've linked up with thrivefantasy.com. Once again, that's thrivefantasy.com. And if you guys go check out thrivefantasy.com, you guys use promo code Marcus. They'll actually match your deposit up to $100. So go check out thrivefantasy.com. Go play some prop bets. You guys go check me out at FF_intervention. And then our shows are over there at Join Our Circle on Twitter, or Join Our Circle _ on Twitter, and youtube.com/fantasyintervention. If you guys are checking this out, go check us out on YouTube. Go hit subscribe. If we're answering the starter stick questions for you, we do a good job doing that for you, and we give you good advice. The best way that you can pay us back is by going to youtube.com/fantasyintervention and just hitting that subscribe button, hitting like on our videos, whatever that ends up being. That goes miles and miles and miles for us. We really appreciate it. Let's answer one more question and get out of here, guys. This is the last question of the show.
Man, look, what a time, hey? The 2 former teammates from Jacksonville. Now neither of them are the starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You hate to see it.
Oh, God, dude. What a knock on James Robinson.
Not a knock. It's just, as Urban would say, it's nothing wrong with James Robinson, or as Kyle Shannon would say, right? It's nothing wrong with Ayuk. We're just really happy with Trent Sherfield. Nothing wrong with James Robinson. We're just really happy with Carlos Hyde.
All right, so I have to get Fournette in this one. I don't like the matchup for James Robinson. I think Fournette's probably the smash play against Atlanta.
Jordan, how does it feel in our league to have drafted Travis Etienne and then handcuffed him with James Robinson, and then Carlos Hyde's out there starting?
Yeah, it really felt great. It really felt great.
Fulfilling, eh?
Yeah. It's just he's up there with J.K. Dobbins too, that I've got stashed everywhere on my IR. So.
Both Etienne and Dobbins at least outscored Rojo last week.
That's right. So I got that going for me, which is great.
Yeah, I would start Fournette because he's playing against Atlanta, who sucks, and I'm concerned about what touches Fournette's going to get. But unfortunately, because Urban is a total donk, I'm also a little bit concerned about what touches James Robinson's going to get.
Is donk another word for ass?
It's a short form of donkey.
It's
I know that we're on a tight timeline, so I don't want to add
the
extra
donk or something,
Sorry?
No, it's not the donk.
The badonkadonk. I thought that's what it was short for.
Oh,
The donk is a poker term. Means you're an idiot.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. One more. We're gonna do this really quick. Pick one running back, one flex. Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, Julio Jones, Christian Kirk. I'm going Miles Sanders. He's in my top 10, followed by Melvin Gordon. But Miles Sanders is the lock for me.
I will do Miles Sanders and Julio, but Melvin Gordon would have been next up.
Hunt
I know
and
Jordan
Melvin
hates
for
Miles
me.
Sanders, so who are you going?
Hate. I want Kareem Hunt and Melvin Gordon.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you all for letting us intervene with your fantasy football life.